Hi, it's Mark Donegan with the Marketing Execution Podcast. Most tech startups chase innovators who love their product but never deploy it, then wonder why revenue stalls. This episode tackles how to identify which early customers actually scale into real revenue. After years of building go-to-market strategies for disruptive tech companies, I've seen this pattern destroy promising startups. Here's my conversation on navigating the adoption curve.
Tune in, listen up, it's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, blowing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing combo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing combo.
You know, Mark, I was thinking about something that pretty much every founder obsesses over, getting that first yes, that first customer who believes in what you're building. But it got me wondering, what if that first yes is actually a trap?
A trap. Man, that's the perfect word for it, Tim. It's one of the biggest, most painful lessons in the startup world. Everyone's so desperate for validation, for that first check, that they don't stop to ask who is coming from. And that can kill you before you even get started.
Kill you? That sounds dramatic. What do you mean?
I mean, you end up building the wrong product for the wrong people, and you burn all your cash doing it. It all comes back to this classic framework that people think they know, the technology adoption curve. And the first group on that curve, the innovators, are the source of so much pain.
The innovators. So these are the tech enthusiasts, the people who love shiny new things?
Exactly. They're super smart. They love getting their hands dirty. They might even pay you to be an alpha or beta tester. And you as a founder are just thrilled. You think, wow, this person from this huge company loves my tech. But they have what I call a fatal flaw.
Okay, I'm hooked. What's the fatal flaw?
They have zero intention of ever putting your product into a mission critical part of their business. So they'll tell you things like, oh, don't worry that your UI is ugly. I prefer the command line anyway. Or this is cool. We don't know how we'll use it, but it's cool. They give you all the wrong signals.
So they're not a real market signal.
Worse than that, sometimes they don't even have buying power. I'll never forget this one time, years ago. We'd been working with this brilliant engineer at a big company for months, our technical sponsor. We thought we had it in the bag. We go into the meeting, expecting to get the PO, the purchase order, and the guy says, okay, so who are you talking to in my company about buying this?
Oh, no.
Yeah, total gut punch. I was like, aren't you the guy? And he just goes, oh no, they don't let me make buying decisions. But hey, when you find someone who's interested, have them call me. I'll put in a good word. I just felt this sinking feeling like, how could I have been so stupid? But it happens to everyone. We got seduced by a fancy title and a guy who loved our tech, but he couldn't buy a pencil.
So how does a founder avoid that? How do you spot an innovator who's just a tire kicker versus a real customer?
Well, the first step is realizing they have a different motivation. They love technology for technology's sake. And that's fine. They are great for technical feedback, but you can't build a business on them. The group you're actually looking for are the next ones on the curve, the early adopter.
Okay, and what's the difference? They sound similar.
Night and day, Tim, night and day. The early adopter isn't just a tech lover. They're a visionary with a mission. They have a strategic problem or a high value opportunity, and they believe your new, unproven technology is the secret weapon to help them win. They see an advantage.
So they're motivated by a business outcome, not just the tech itself.
Precisely. And because of that, they'll actually put your product into production. They'll have some tolerance for bugs, sure, but they will absolutely expect you to meet an SLA, a service level agreement, at some point. They'll pay more too. If an innovator gives you $10,000 for a pilot, an early adopter might give you $50,000 because they're getting real value.
So the goal is to find those visionaries with the mission. And I guess once you find a few of them, that's when you hit the gas and scale the sales team.
Whoa, hold on. That's the next trap right there. So many founders get one or two early adopters, the investors get all excited, and the board says, great, time to hire 20 sales reps. This is where we see so much failure on the Marketing Execution podcast. It's a big mistake.
Why? It seems like the logical next step.
Because you probably don't have true product market fit yet. You have product customer fit with a couple of specific visionaries. If you hire a whole sales team, they're just going to spin their wheels on a pipeline that never closes. They'll talk to people who aren't those perfect fit visionaries. The product isn't quite ready for a broader audience, and you just light millions of dollars of investor money on fire.
So what should a founder do
Instead, you have to stay small and focused. You analyze those early deals like your life depends on it, because it does. Which pilot has the highest probability of scaling? A $10,000 pilot that can realistically scale to $100,000 in a year is way better than a bigger deal in a market you can't even define yet. You have to earn the right to scale. You do that by proving you can move beyond the innovators and systematically win over the early adopters. Only then do you even think about building a big team.
That's a huge point, Mark. It feels like getting this wrong is an existential threat. So, as a founder, how do you manage your board's expectations when they're screaming for growth, but you know you're not ready?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or the $10 million burn question, maybe? Look, the pressure from a board is real. I've lived it. They see a couple of great logos, they get dollar signs in their eyes, and they think it's just a math problem. Hire more reps, get more logos. But it's not. And your job as CEO is to be the storyteller in chief, not just for customers, but for your own board.
A storyteller. Yeah, that's what we talked about in the previous episode, right?
Yeah, you have to be, because what you have to explain is that the company is about to enter the most dangerous part of its journey. You're standing on one side of a deep, dark chasm. On your side are the innovators and the few early adopters you've won over. On the far side, that's the mainstream market. That's where the real money is. And getting across, it's a whole different game.
So you're talking about crossing the chasm, that classic idea, the gap between the early market and the mainstream.
Exactly. And the people on that other side, they're called the early majority. But I prefer to call them the pragmatists. And they are nothing like the visionaries you just won over. A visionary wants an edge. A pragmatist just wants to not get fired.
Okay, wow, that's a stark difference. So they're completely risk averse.
They are terrified of risk. Think about it. These people manage systems that touch thousands, maybe millions of users. They're in operations. Their bonus is tied to stability and uptime, not to trying some crazy new thing. When you, the shiny new startup, walk into their office talking about revolution, all they hear is risk, headache, and something that will break on a Saturday morning.
Wait, hang on. So the pitch that worked on the early adopter, the one about gaining a competitive advantage, that actively works against you with this new group.
It's worse than useless. It's a repellent. And this is where so many founders screw up. They take the same pitch deck, the same case study from their visionary friend, and they walk it into a meeting with a pragmatist. And the pragmatist's first question isn't, how will this make us better? It's, who else is using this?
Right, the reference check. But you have references. You're early adopter.
Yeah, but think about who that reference is. It's some other wild-eyed visionary who the pragmatist probably thinks is a little bit crazy. They don't trust each other. A pragmatist wants a reference from another pragmatist. It's a network. They want to see that someone just like them has already taken the leap and survived. You don't have that proof yet.
Oh man, that is a serious problem. So you have to find a way to become a safe choice, not just a smart choice.
That's it. You have to transform from being an idea to being a standard. And once you start regularly winning those pragmatists in the early majority, that's when you found true product market fit. That's when you can hit the gas. And after them, you get the late majority, the conservatives, who are even more skeptical. When you're selling to them, your product is basically just part of the furniture. It's expected.
So there's this whole psychological journey from the tech-loving innovator to the mission-driven visionary, then across this chasm to the risk-averse pragmatist, and finally to the if I must conservative. Each step requires a fundamental shift in who you are as a company.
A complete shift. Your messaging, your pricing, your proof points, everything has to evolve. You can't sell to the early majority with an early adopter playbook. It's like trying to unlock a door with the key to a different house. It just won't work.
I see what you mean. This is so much more than just a progression. It's a series of transformations. Okay, I fully get the why now. This is absolutely make or break. So let's get into the how. What's the playbook for actually making that jump, for successfully crossing that chasm without falling in?
Tim, that's it. That's the whole game right there. Ideas are great, but execution is what separates the companies that make it from the ones that become a footnote. Let's get into how people can actually do this.
Yes, I'm so ready. This is what everyone wants to know. Okay, give us the playbook. Where does a founder even start to build that bridge across the chasm?
You start by making the chasm smaller. You don't try to build a giant bridge across the whole thing. You find the narrowest possible point and you focus all your energy there. This is the beachhead strategy. Think D-Day. The Allies didn't land everywhere at once. They picked one small, defensible stretch of beach.
The beachhead. So you're saying pick one specific type of customer.
I'm saying pick one hyper-specific niche, a tiny segment of the mainstream market where you can become the biggest fish in a tiny pond. Maybe it's not all banks. Maybe it's community banks in Texas with under 50 employees. It has to be that specific. Your goal is to completely dominate that single segment so that every pragmatist in that niche recommends you to every other pragmatist in that niche.
How do you find that niche? Do you just guess?
No guessing. You look at your existing early wins, your visionaries. Is there a pattern? Did you accidentally sell to 3 different fintech startups who are all using you for the exact same thing? That's your beachhead. Go talk to them. Find out who they talk to. Then build everything for that one group. Think about Viva Systems. They didn't build a CRM for everyone. They built a CRM for life sciences companies. They became the only choice in that vertical. Indisputable. Safe.
Okay, so focus. Go an inch wide and a mile deep. Become the undisputed leader of a tiny market first. That makes a ton of sense.
Exactly. And once you land on that beachhead, Tim, you have to deliver what we call the whole product. The pragmatists are buying a complete solution to their problem. They want the whole car, not just the engine.
The whole car? What do you mean by that?
Think about it. When you buy a car, you expect it to have wheels, seats, a warranty, and a service center you can call, right? The same applies to your SaaS product. The whole product isn't just your code. It's the excellent documentation. It's the 24/7 support. It's the training videos. It's the integrations with the other tools they already use. It's everything that surrounds your core product that makes it a safe, easy decision.
So it's about reducing their anxiety, making it feel like a complete off-the-shelf package that just works.
100%. You're selling peace of mind. Pragmatists are buying a result. Look at Miro. They created a whole collaborative space with templates for marketing brainstorms, for agile planning, for journey mapping. They gave their target user a full solution right out of the box. That's the whole product.
Okay, so find a beachhead, deliver the whole product. What's the third step?
You change your story. The messaging that attracted the visionary, the one about revolution and paradigm shifts, you throw it in the trash. Seriously, go to your website right now and delete the word revolutionary. It scares pragmatists away.
So what do you say instead?
You replace it with proof. Your new message is about being the standard. It's about being proven. Instead of saying the most powerful AI-driven analytics platform, you say the number one analytics platform for e-commerce marketers trusted by companies like X, Y, and Z. One is a boast, the other is a fact. And pragmatists, they only buy facts. Your job is to stop selling the future and start selling the present. You are no longer selling what could be, you are selling what is.
Mark, this has been incredible. You've taken us from the theory of the curve right through to the street-level tactics. Before we wrap, can you summarize the whole journey for us one last time?
Okay, absolutely. At the start, you have to ignore the fans, the innovators, and find the true visionaries who will actually pay you to solve a strategic problem. But that's just the first step. The real journey, the one that kills most companies, is crossing the chasm to the mainstream market. The people there, the pragmatists, are buying safety. They're buying a standard. So you can't attack the whole market. You have to find a single niche and completely own it. You deliver the whole product, the documentation, the support, everything to reduce their fear. And finally, you change your story from revolutionary to proven. You stop selling the dream and start selling reality.
That's such a perfect summary. It's a journey of empathy, really, learning who you're talking to at each stage. So after all this, all the traps and playbooks, if a founder could only remember one thing from our entire conversation as they walk into the next meeting, what should it be?
Don't ask yourself if they love your product. That's a trap. Instead, ask yourself what you represent to them. Are you a risky advantage or are you a safe choice? Because knowing the answer to that question, that is everything. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.